The Elusive Carnival. Why do I call it elusive? Because I'm talking about that kind of carnival that suddenly arrives in the parking lot of your city's local mall overnight, and in barely even a week, it's gone again. I'm talking about that kind of carnival that you think you went to as a kid, but then again, maybe you're just imagining things because realistically it was only there for about a week, and it's easy to forget a single week after a good few years. The Elusive Carnival is different than your local, permanent carnivals for one encompassing reason. It's elusive. Therefore, when I saw one of these pop up in the parking lot of the mall near my house, I decided that I had to go before it had the chance to disappear again. By doing this, I could not only document myself experiencing one of these short-lived carnivals, but also judge whether or not they actually deserve to keep reappearing at random times and locations around my city. Now I know that there's some very common rides that tend to appear at these elusive carnivals, such as the Zipper, the Skymaster, and those giant swinging boat rides that go by many different names, such as Pirate, the Sea Ray, or Pharaoh's Fury. While none of these particular rides were actually available this time around, there were still some other common rides, and as long as I was able to get on them, you can bet your socks that I rode them, starting with the Ring of Fire. Now, the Ring of Fire is the kind of ride that you only want to go on if you've been doing a lot of push-ups beforehand, otherwise you better hope to God you don't fall out of those unusually slippery seats when this death machine is hanging upside down. Watching this footage again, it continues to shock me how this kid remained practically unmoving during this whole ride and didn't even slide out of his seat. 6 out of 10. The next ride I ended up going on was the GForce. This is a kind of ride that makes me realize why my sister would say, "You should take these 2 gravels," before I went off to the carnival, because honestly, even though I may have claimed that I'm a man, I don't need those. The GForce is straight up vomit-inducing. I don't know if it's because I kept talking during the ride like a moron, or because I looked at my feet when the ride was reaching its conclusion. But in the end, I was about to throw up a night's worth of pizza and really had to take it easy and chill out.
How you feeling, bro?
I can't believe I got so sick from that ride, actually. It's absurd. As far as I'm concerned, this ride stands for Gag Force. Or at least it should stand for Gag Force. But hey, when it comes down to it, the spinning was pretty fun. 7 out of 10. So after I realized that my 21-year-old body couldn't handle a few spins, I took it easy and headed into the Fun House. I remember that I used to love the Funhouse as a kid. They'd always have these really cool things to climb, and sometimes they had those nifty spinning tunnels at the end. This one had a few mirrors and a slide. If a few mirrors and a slide is your idea of fun, then hey cool, you'll love this Funhouse. Unfortunately, that's not my idea of fun, so Borehouse gets 3 out of 10. Next up was one of the most generic carnival rides, the Spinning Swings, otherwise known as Yo-Yo. What can I say about this one, really? I was lifted a few feet off the ground and then spun around a pool for a few minutes. And let's be real here, practically everybody has been on this ride at least once in their life, so there's really not much else that I need to say about it. What I can tell you is that once I got off this ride, there was absolutely no doubt in my mind that my tolerance for spinning motions was definitely not what it used to be. 5 out of 10. How'd that feel? I feel a little sick, still. Now, at this point in the night, I realized that if I went on another spinning, tilting, fast-paced ride of any sort, not only my breakfast, but my lunch and dinner as well would be quickly revisiting the outside world. So I did what I had to. I tried to get on the less intense kids' rides. Unfortunately, restrictions told me that I was too tall to go on the majority of them. I was able to go on the Spinning Bees ride though, whatever that one was actually called, and aside from, believe it or not, making my stomach even more uneasy than it was before, this ride really didn't do much for me. It just went up and down and up and down and up and down and in circles and up and down again. This ride might be fun for a 3-year-old, but for a 21-year-old guy who obviously has no place on a little kid's ride, it was actually pretty relaxing. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Still, 3 out of 10. After that, I knew the night was almost over. I had gone on practically every ride, the ones I could get on at least, and I was just about ready to leave. But everybody knows the carnival is not over until you've gone on the Ferris Wheel. What can I honestly say about the Ferris wheel that hasn't already been said by someone somewhere? I mean, it's a staple of any carnival. Everybody loves the Ferris wheel. I'm scared of heights and I love the Ferris wheel. 10 out of 10. So after that, I went home. And as a side note, if you're walking home at midnight with a relatively expensive camera, well, you probably shouldn't, because you don't know if two dunces are going to come up to you and literally say word for word, "Hey, that's a nice camera you got there," and "Come step in this back lane for a second," forcing you and your friend to run home so they get their grubby little hands off your camera. But back to the topic at hand. The Elusive Carnival. Was it worth it? Was it worth spending $25 to ride a few rides for a full evening? Well, I really can't be the judge of that. Obviously, everybody has very different opinions on what's fun and interesting, and to me, honestly, it wasn't really worth it. But I'm sure there's people out there who love near-death experiences, vomiting from nearly 20 feet in the air, and walking down what was essentially a hallway. To those people, I'm sure you would love the Elusive Carnivals. Now, on to more important topics. This apple juice cost me exactly $1 at the fair, and the reason I bought it was to help ease my stomach a little after all of vomit-inducing rides. Well, the next day I went to the store and was shocked to find out that this exact brand of apple juice was $1.18. For 5 whole boxes! I know what you're thinking, why would I spend such ridiculous amounts of money for entertainment at the Elusive Carnivals when I can just drink apple juice and entertain myself for free at home watching Greg Chipelski's videos? Well, I don't blame you, I would be thinking the same thing.